Have a bust it. I don't know how you work this.
Welcome back to Every Trade Behind the Build. Hope you had a good weekend, guys. As you can see, the yard is somewhere near getting back up to capacity, which I'm glad about. We sorted out our trusty 𝗕𝗓𝗓. Turns out the alternator that we had just replaced was a non-genuine part, and the engineer from Blue Engineering, who was great, diagnosed that we need a new genuine alternator. So we sent the old one back and we've got it up and running. I just need that machine to give us a couple more years. I know it's old and I know it's probably a little bit on the smaller side for us. Maybe we could do with like a 20 tonner or something like that, but I just cannot justify spending the kind of money you need to spend to get a decent machine at the moment. There's more pressing things to buy for that yard, i.e. some kind of loading shovel, something like that. So yeah, I'm just glad that Dale has managed to sort it. He's now back on the trucks. The 𝗕𝗕𝗓𝗏, which I told you last week, the 𝗕𝗕𝗓𝗏 grab had failed its MOT, got it straight back in for a retest. It was a bit of minor work, which we thought someone had sorted. That's now sorted and it's passed straight back into service, which is great because we need, as you know, to do a lot of work on the 6-wheel grab that we've got, the DAF. So Dale, and I've enlisted a little bit of help for him later on in the week, are going to crack on getting that one as good as it can be. We're going to get each truck in now, one after the other, spend a bit of time and a bit of money getting them mechanically and looking as good as they can be. Camping at the weekend, met a subscriber, Dan, top guy, set up a little football match between my lad and his lad. It was great, and he's a lovely guy, and I love meeting positive subscribers. Got a bit of hate, I wouldn't say hate, but negativity from a couple of usual suspects in the comments last week. Might talk about it later, not really bothered, is what it is. Probably was a bit of a more negative episode last week, but that's just business. Speaking of that's just business, the guys at Talking Shop podcast that I did a few weeks ago now have sent me over a preview of that, and you know what, it's really good. I'm really happy with it. I opened up quite a lot and I talk about the realities of being in business, talk about my story, how I started out, my failures, how I lost a lot of money, how I've made a little bit of money back. So yeah, I think it's coming out around about the 12th of July. So I'll let you know when that is coming out. On my way to Liverpool now, over in New HQ, which is in positive news. We are cracking on, Adam, Eve and Mike, with that spine wall, which is going to form the walls to our mezzanine floor, our new, I call it a mezzanine floor, it's more of just a standard chamber floor for our new offices there. So let's see the scaffolding going up so that Adam and Eve can crack on with the next lift. Yeah, so stay tuned, because in this episode, we'll get back over to New HQ and see how Adam, Eve and Mike are getting on. But also, there's going to be a couple of familiar faces that you guys, I know a lot of you guys love. So stay tuned for that. I'm on my way over to Liverpool because me and Alex are signing for another property, which is amazing. We've had a good run the last few weeks. I managed to add a couple, well, almost added a couple to the portfolio. Again, property, I think, should underpin anything you do in business. It's a long-term bet. It will mean that down the line, you'll get some options, some freedom. You won't make money fast. I think that's a bit of a myth. Nobody really makes quick money in property. And if they do, let me know how. But long-term, it's what gives you options. When I was camping at the weekend, I had a thought. I love camping. I love the outdoors, spending time with my kids, having a cup of tea nice and early in the great outdoors, but I do not like packing the tent up. I don't even like putting it up, to be honest. I find it a bit of a ball ache, but I thought, you know what I'm going to do is not get bogged down by the enormity of the task, putting up a big tent on my own. I'm just going to do it step by step, a peg at a time, a guide rope at a time, put the airbed up, set the little camping stove up, all slowly, one step at a time. And I thought, you know what, that's a great analogy for business, and I made a note in my phone to talk about it, because business can seem a big, overwhelming thing to get into, to build, especially if you're trying to grow your own business. And you know what it is, when you look at your competitors or you look at other businesses that you aspire to be like, you think, how have they built that? That must have taken years. And that's the truth, it does take years. But the road, for example, the motorway to Liverpool, I don't think, oh, I've got to sit in the car now for an hour to Liverpool. I think, well, let's cross this bridge, let's go past that bridge. I'm not really, I go, oh, I've just passed Warrington. I'm not really getting bogged down by the distance. And I think the same with the tent, peg at a time, just slowly but surely, focusing on the smaller tasks, and all of a sudden, before you know it, your camp's set up, but then you've got to take it down, do it all again in reverse. But it's the same logic, and it's the same in business. You know, get yourself established, take on your first member of staff, get that person bedded in, then eventually get a vehicle, maybe get another vehicle, add more customers. It's bit by bit, bridge by bridge, peg by peg. So yeah, I look at businesses that are doing what I do, and I remember when I was looking at big construction companies, well, I thought they were big at the time, that we're bigger than now, and I think, how did they ever get that big? And then they just do it bit by bit. Time in business is a great tool. And I look at big aggregate and grab companies and recycling companies now and think, have they got all that kit? How have they got to that point? Have they got that yard? And they've done it bit by bit. So yeah, don't be overwhelmed by the enormity of the task in business. Just set up your tent. Simple as that. Just drive on the motorway. I suppose a better analogy is a longer drive. Maybe, I don't know, John O'Groats to Land's End or whatever. You don't think, oh my God, it's a 7-hour trip. You think, well, I'll make a stop there. I'll get to that point there. There's a milestone. There's a bridge. There's a landmark. Don't be overwhelmed by the enormity of the task. Let's get to Liverpool and let's get this property signed for, because I need to get back, because I've got a busy little week brewing. So, back from Liverpool, gonna get a little bit of admin done. Boring stuff you probably don't want to see. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit of it. Last week, got quite a bit of grief on the video, mostly because the title was quite clickbaity, and I know it was. It's annoying. Anybody that knows anything about YouTube, especially trying to grow a channel, the algorithm basically is set up to incentivize dramatic titles and clickbait. I don't want to do it, but half of you guys wouldn't be watching, because YouTube, the algorithm wouldn't recommend this video. Because what they basically do, YouTube, is the algorithm go, right, okay, this is an interesting video. They actually look at the thumbnail, the title, very, very clever how it works, and they'll go, we'll show this to a few more people. Oh, these people like it, they're commenting, they're liking, they're subscribing, we'll show it to more. It even doesn't show it to your subscribers. It's not guaranteed. It's so hard getting a channel going. like everything that me and Alex do in business, I want it to be a success. So I'm trying to deploy what I can to get our content out there. But what I will say is that it is quite a dramatic business that we run, because we run so many different businesses: the construction, the property, the grabs and aggregate, the yard, the recycling, and all the other bits that we do. Things go wrong quite a bit. Now, I'm not about making this content depressing, so I don't moan every week and stuff like that, but I will tell you when things go wrong, because I think some of you guys might want to know, especially the ones that run business. And I speak to people that do run businesses, and they've said they find our content quite refreshing, because in that very first episode I promised I would show warts and all, and I'm trying my hardest where possible to do that. There's some stuff that I wouldn't want you to know, some stuff I don't want my staff to know, problems that we face day in day out behind the scenes, that it's something that really only key members of staff need to know. So I'm trying to be honest, I try to tell you as much as I can, but I'm sorry if that triggers some people. Also, there's a guy there, right, and I know the worst thing you can do with trolls is to give them attention and engage them, but this guy, and you'll be watching, I know you are, and you're called Eyes Everywhere. I don't know who it is, but basically, he's dug us out. You can look on YouTube Studios what other comments he's made, and it's honestly not one single positive comment at all. Dug us out on everything, but he's put a couple of things, but the one that actually annoyed me, or actually not annoyed me, but also made me interested, he's commenting on somebody else, the other guys, the guy that was digging me out about the clickbait, 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗃. Yeah, still watches every week, but he was saying that, he was the one that's saying that I chucked my wife under a bus or my business, and now it's my business. Whatever, that's fine. But he's commenting at that point, he's a complete bluffer, but as normal people, no idea about their business, succeed. Another is Stellar Scaffolding, so he's basically giving Stellar Scaffolding some grief. Anyone that watches Stellar Scaffolding's content, really good. Joe there, he's done stuff for charity, everything, so he's digging him out as well. He's put, what idiot, meaning me, uses rubber trap machine on a crushing operation. When he first started crushing, he was using, I think he means a not very good crusher, in the yard for about a year, until it dawned on him he had the wrong kit. Right. I know, yeah, I know. I do not know the crushing and the recycling game back to front. I've been doing it 5 minutes. I've said that so much on our channel. I am not an expert. No, not at all. I put it out there. I don't hide the fact. Now, there's good people out there, people in the industry, people that you won't even know that I speak to, people that you will know that are quite high profile that I speak to that have been helpful, but people like Dave, people like the Ray brothers, those kind of people. Dick Searle, another guy, comments quite a lot. Lovely guy, bit of a legend of the industry, reaches out with amazing advice day in, day out. Those people, amazing. But there's people like this guy here that all they do is dig them out, big me out. And then he went on to say, he's put, no problem, because I was basically pushing back. I'll pay for you to come to London and show you how to do crushing. To which I was like, mate, please, if that's a genuine invite, send me details. You don't need to pay. I'll pay. Not a problem. I'll even pay for your time. If you're an expert at crushing and recycling, get in touch. Me and Alex will come down and we'll learn everything from you. Because I also believe that you should help the next generation. So with the construction side and property side, we help. Yeah, we do mentoring. We're doing this every trade university, as we talked about. Anyway, that's not a rant. That's not being sour-faced about trolls, but that one sort of got me thinking. It's we don't have to make this content. We're doing it because we want to show our business. We love our businesses, and we want maybe to help people and maybe to grow our business. So a little bit of office-based admin stuff, which I don't always bring to you on the channel, but I know some of you guys find it quite interesting. So we're starting our new project over in Newcastle. I think I might call it Project Toon. Later on this week, we're going over there, setting the job up, getting our feet on the ground, seeing what's what. It's a big job for us. It's one of the biggest we've done. The contract value, I probably won't say exactly what it is, but it's over £1 million. So really pleased to be doing it. We've worked with this client before, really good. As Mr. 𝗕𝗓𝗟𝗗𝗓, I'll ring him back. I don't normally swear you, Alex, but I'm filming. So it's a great opportunity for us to really grow that side of the business. Like, the person we're working for used to work at another company. He's moved, basically set up on his own, and he's trusted us to work on his new flagship project. So I'm really excited. Hopefully we'll bring you a lot of content on that on the channel if you're interested. But what I'm doing now is just going back and forth trying to get the contract sorted out. So we're doing what's called the JCT contract. Now, there's lots of different types of contracts in construction. You can have your own basic one that's your contract, or you can have, there's a plain English one that the Federation of Master Builders do. We've actually got our own contract, which we've kind of written ourselves from years of experience, which is based a little bit on the FMB one. But this one is a JCT, which is like a standard contract that you can amend. But one thing I thought might be interesting, part of the contract is there's obviously a finish completion date, which has got to be, which is first week in September. Now, there's something called LADs. A lot of you guys will know what these are, but just in case you don't, they're damages, liquidated damages, basically. And what that is, if we don't get that job finished by the 5th of September, we will be charged per room per week, right? And I'm just looking at it now, it is pretty tiny. So all told, we'll be charged 22 grand per week for every week that we overrun on this job. Now, it's never happened. I've never invoked damages, never been charged damages by a customer, because we normally get it done on time. And often, if a job does overrun, it's not just the contractor's fault. And we've had a situation in the past where we've said we've overrun, and the customer said, "What about damages?" And we've said, "Well, wait a minute. The reason it's overrun is because you changed the job, or you've added bits in that's made the job take longer." So, as a contractor, and now I've been doing this for a few years, I know when to push back, and I've basically said, yes, we will happily accept these damages, but there needs to be a grace period. And if you guys add anything in, or there's an unforeseen, let's say we find asbestos or there's an extra bit of work, it's obviously going to take us longer to do the job. So then those damages cannot kick in until that point. But as I say, I've got a fantastic relationship with this customer, so it won't be an issue. But obviously, it's a lot of money, so it's got to be contractual. Another thing there is what's called a defects period. Now, again, they put it down as 12 months. So what that means is you're liable to come and sort the defects out for 12 months. We're happy with that. However, what that normally means, they'll hold what's called a retention, a small bit of the money of the job until that point there. So in 12, sometimes it's normally 2.5% of the contract value, which when it's over £1 million is quite a lot. On this one, actually, it's 3%. But basically, I'm going to push back and say we will never sign 12 months. I don't do it. We'll do 6 months maximum, and we're going to push it down to 2.5%. So what that means at the end of the job is there'll be 2.5% of the whole contract sum held by the client until in 6 months' time they've checked the work, there's no major defects, and then they'll release that, and that's fine. And like I say, this relationship I've got with this client is built on trust. We've worked together for a long time. We've been good for them, but they've been amazing for us. So there's nothing we do to risk it. But you've got to have the contract in place. It's to protect them and their investors, and to protect us as the contractor. So don't know if you guys will find it boring, but let me know if you want to learn more about contracts or anything like that. And don't forget, on our Every Trade University, links below, you're going to see me talk about this a bit more. There'll be guidance on contracts and stuff like that. We might even put a contract template on there, actually. As I say, it's not quite finished yet. We've got loads of response from you guys putting your emails in saying you are interested in learning about that. So when it goes live, you guys will be the first to hear about it. So if you are interested, this will be a place where you can get all templates of documents, how to price your jobs. We're going to do like a labour Bible where every sort of bit of the construction, you be able to go, oh, I want 5 of them, 6 of them, 10 of them. You put your labour rates in, it'll price the job for you. It's going to be a really powerful set of resources. So yeah, register your interest on the link below. I've got a lot to do. I need to crack on, but I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is 7:20 and this is very early for me. Not for a lot of you guys. I know a lot of you guys have probably done about 3 hours work before now, but for me, I like to do the school run, as you know, but I'm up nice and early because we're at New HQ to meet 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧 car breakers. The boys over there saw what we're trying to put together here, and James reached out and said, listen lad, you need a forklift. I've got one for you. I was like, oh, amazing. Thanks so much. So he said, right, come and get it. And he went, oh, by the way, I think it might need a starter motor. And then his mate reckons that maybe the engine's blown up. But he reckons it's just a starter motor though. I am very grateful. And I'm looking forward to seeing James because we were chatting last night, as we often do, me and James. And we were saying, it's been a year since Hillhead. So I've not seen him for a full year, which is mad, but it's weird because we were saying like, because he watches our content and I watch theirs, it's like you know him anyway and you see him week in, week out. That's the weird thing about YouTube, isn't it? But while we're waiting, look, we've got this van in here. This is Uncle Terry's van, and annoyingly, the clutch is very, very close to going. It's making Hollywood work hard here because the light's changing, but he can handle it. But yeah, this clutch is going at the moment. We've dropped it off here because we can get it inside. We can't get it in our existing HQ because this is quite a high top van and the roof is too low. Well, the doors are too low, but we can get it in our new HQ, which again is a nice test. Look who's here. The only man on YouTube that's smaller than me. Yeah, well I've said it on their channel already, but he's giving me about my legs.
Listen,
why?
Because they white.
But again, let's
I
have a look at yours.
can't actually tell if you got socks on, mate.
Yeah, but yours are always full of grease, that's why yours are so...
It's not, it's like fake tan mine.
Yeah, look at that.
I don't know.
They're not bad legs, them actually. Them boots though.
I might have to get some fake tan on mine.
So we're here because the boys at 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧, John won't be on camera because he said he's not saying anything, he's like a spare part. Yeah, he's a bit jealous of mine, James' relationship.
Yeah, I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm the brother he wishes he had.
You imagine that?
I'm not as good looking as John though. John is... I didn't ask John why there's the moustache. Why is he...
Oh no, it's cool now, isn't it? Why is the moustache?
I'm good if my new bird, aren't I?
Your new bird?
I've been seeing someone, yeah. She said,
Oh, I thought you already had. You said he was...
No. Oh, you've just broke his dreams, John.
What do you mean?
No, are you really? Yeah, is she Mexican, yeah? Is that what it is? Or... that's good. Eligible bachelor. I love that. No, so the boys here have kindly, they've seen, like I said before, that we've got this sort of big unit, which is nothing compared to their new unit, but
It's not bad though.
we're going to have racking right up the sides there, and when you've got racking, you need a forklift. So James said, lad, got you a forklift here, mate. It's an absolute belter. I was like, oh mate, thanks so much.
Did I say it was a belter?
Put it on his episode. I was like, because I was looking at eBay and they were like 4 or 5 grand for it.
I might have bigged it up a little bit, mightn't I?
Anyway. So then I think he started to manage my expectations. He said, it might need a starter motor. But then his mate said the engine's gone.
No, I guess.
But apparently, it's just a starter. So we'll get Dale on it. But I'm very, very grateful.
Dale on that for a day, it'll do you that.
Yeah, I'm made up. I'm really happy with it because it's, as you can see, we're going to need it.
So what's the plan in here then? You said you're splitting it up, didn't you?
Yeah, so what the plan is basically, we're going to go where we're at the moment, which you're going to need to come over there actually because that machine's over there. It's only literally a minute down the road.
That's right.
Yeah. We were rammed in, we've been there for like 8 years and we're bursting at the seams. So I want to have a lot of my spare materials in one place and give Dale a proper setup. So
Dale's going to like a workshop?
Yeah, a little workshop. Yeah, we're probably going to get another set of ramps, but it already feels too small already. It's annoying because by the time you start getting stuff in it, when I first come to view this was like, oh, it's massive. But then it's actually it's not. But I get a bit of yard to the front.
Yeah.
I'm also putting another floor in here, and you did that in yours, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a mezzanine though, we've just kind of built it on racking. Yours will be all posh mezzanine, won't it?
Yeah, you built yours on racking, haven't you?
We can't bloody afford mezzanine like
brilliant.
you.
Yeah, no, if you watch their earlier stuff, you can see all that. I'm a nerd,
So are you having your HQ here?
Yep.
Right.
Everything. So the idea is all that's going to be based here. So all that there, I'm going to have like a meeting room. And it's all going to be like glazed, looking down onto the actual workshop. Yeah, exactly. I've already put all the cameras in all there.
Yeah, you love them cameras.
I've counted up last night. I've got about 45 cameras now. Yeah. It's like Big Brother.
Yeah, it will
and then yeah, so we'll have everything down here. We're going to rent that bit out there to someone. So we're already monetising that bit. And yeah. It's like I say, it's not as big as I want it to be, but it's just ridiculous money.
Won't it?
It'll do us for another good few years. We're going to make it nice because where we are at the moment, the landlord's he's hard work, so we can't do anything. Whereas here, the guy just said, "Here's the keys, do what you want." Yeah, so he's sound. So yeah,
good.
Oh, we need a clutch for that, so you helped me out.
I'll give you 300.
He just offered. Yeah, he's gone up 100 quid. John offered me. John offered me 200 quid.
Off me. John will lowball you.
Yeah,
no, 250.
Straight away, it was out.
John, 250.
It's a good breaker, that. It'll break well, that.
I'll get a clutch in it, it'll do you, though.
Yeah, I'll be all right. Right, let's see if you've got the skills to get this bad boy in. Dale's here as well. Had to do a quick repair on the Baxton's truck for them because it was leaking water. Let's go and have a look at Project 𝗕𝗨𝗟𝗓. Apparently the plasters have started. Let's see how those boys are getting on there. What about the parcel tape? What's that there for?
Oh, that's just to hold the whole thing together.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's an absolute shit.
No, listen, beggars can't be choosers, mate.
I mean, it was all right.
Better than the one we've got.
Which folder have you got?
We haven't got one.
Right, should we push it back a little bit?
Go on, son. Look at that. Minimum, absolute millimetre perfect. Oh. Dale, you nut. You know, broke me So Baxton boys have gone now. They've also taken one of our machines because they're going to do some work in their yard. And Tim, who you've met, is joining them next week. How they work is Tim just literally cracks on. They set him some tasks and they'll put a bit of labour around him and see where they get to. So they booked him for a week, which works well for us and for them. Well, it doesn't work that well for us because Tim is so in demand and we're trying to prize this in. But it's good to help out other businesses and other YouTubers. It's great. The people that I've met from this YouTube thing is brilliant. Like I said, they just gifted us a long-term loan of a forklift, which is amazing. So we're going to order a starter motor for that, I think, and see how we get on with that. Over in Liverpool, Alex is going to show you where we're up to on one of our client jobs. But what's good is that it's actually next door to the very first job that we did for Alex. Before he bought into this company, before we became business partners, he was just a customer. Probably one of the most difficult customers we've ever had to deal with, honestly. And then we ended up as business partners. So it's funny how these things turn out. But he's actually going to give a bit of a background, I think, on how me and him met and how it all came together. So over to Alex in Liverpool.
So this one brings back some memories now. So obviously Chris has just explained a little bit to you there about it. So we're on the customer job, here you can see, which is the last one of the big phase that we've done for this customer in Kensington on the HMO side. So that is, as I say, the last house to be finished for them on the shell only. But next door, which is why it's so special, is the first ever job me and Chris Shaw did together. So back then was what? That's 2019. There's a photo of me and Chris standing about here, like that. I'm there, Chris is there, every trade van. And back then, at that moment, I'm trying to remember what my mindset was like, and I was looking to get a builder, and I'd seen Chris on Facebook. Just finished the big job in Liverpool for Student Cribs. Student Cribs at the time, I used to watch them, all their stuff, and think, I want to do stuff like them. I want to try and get our company, little tiny company, to be not as big as them, but you know, to do good products like them. He was their builder. At that time in my life, I was on site a lot, doing the physical work as well. I'd just come off the back of finishing the HMO round the corner, where I'd done a lot of the work myself. And at this stage of buying that building behind 117, I was like, I need to employ a builder. I was finding loads of deals for good prices, but didn't have the time to build them out at the speed that I wanted to. So I needed to find a builder. Chris was that person, and back then I was chasing him all the time for a price. I think I chased him for about 6 months for a price for that every day. And Chris says now, knowing me, he doesn't know why I put up with him back then, trying to get the price off him. And now knowing what I know now, I should have just chased Kieran or spoke to Kieran and not spoke to Chris. But obviously every trade at the time was evolving as well, and people were moving up into their roles. So, you know, we've all grown since then as all different companies and people. And our own skill sets have grown since then. And I'll say this marks a big milestone for us being back on next door, doing the work and doing what we did years ago then. There's a couple of remedial works, to be fair. Obviously back then was a bit of a budget, and I had to pay for Chris, you know, who's not cheap. I've just gone from doing them my prices, really paying no builder margin, to then getting a builder who've got to pay margin to free up my own time, which is what I had to overcome at the time, which was very hard for me mentally to do, to hand over. And at the time we give them two, we give them this one and I give them that one there around the corner to do a couple of weeks between each other. But I had a budget and I couldn't do certain things, and there's bits in there that I'm not very happy with. And Chris himself will probably tell you as well, and Chris will probably tell you he wonders why we're still speaking now. And I think that's why we end up getting into business together, because I end up becoming so hands-on in there and in that one round the corner, because there was things that just weren't going the way I liked them. And me being OCD, yeah, I started micromanaging the job, which in the end Chris read the situation, just went bang, go on Alex, you deal with it. So I was still happy to pay Chris and do whatever at the time, but I basically ended up managing them myself. And I was happy to do that because I was still on the ground. And then from then we formed a partnership of like working together, and I don't think that would happen on most jobs. Most jobs you find the customers sending lengthy emails, chasing a builder, going, I want this, I want that. But I at the time wanted these to be done so I could move the students in, because I had students signed to move in. So in my mind I was thinking, I need to just get to there no matter how. Forget about what people are getting paid, I need to get to that point. And I work with Chris, Chris worked with me, and then basically we went to sort of open book. Like I ended up doing stuff myself. I ended up getting Christian, who was part of my little team back then, in with me on here to do bits of the work. And then me and Chris just sat down at the end and just went through, and Chris was like, look mate, you tell me what you've spent and I'll just knock it off my price. And he was very, very fair, give him that. More fair with me than he is with people now. And I don't think many people will get that sort of treatment. So back then, you know, and then that sort of opened the doors then for me and Chris to speak, and then do what we've done today, which is mad, really. So we're standing here now, reminiscing on where it started for me and Chris. But yeah, let's go inside and see the last one of this phase. So yeah, inside, lovely. The way it's all been ripped out again, great. So ready for, as you can see the timbers there now, ready to whip this floor in. Dad and lad, Ross and Ray, are about to come over today to put this in. They're just finishing off on one of the other jobs, the last couple of bits in this morning, and then they're going to jump over here. See a nice big naughty crack up there though, lovely prehistoric crack that. So that needs attention. A couple of the brickwork there and the bay window is going to need attention, but as I say, first things first, let's get this floor in, take this one out, put that in, and then we'll go from there. And then obviously in the back, the usual dance, going to be steels going in there, do the knock through, build into the extension. That existing kitchen slab will get ripped up, and then we'll go through into that. But you haven't seen this one on the side yet, have you? Really, as I say, probably wouldn't know where we are. Could be any property now, they're all the same inside. But yeah, same dance. Windows are nice, to be fair, but they're going to go on the back, and there'll be new ones going in. Outside you can see the extension's been built up to damp. Just waiting to do the drainage works now, and then good to go. But in terms of getting this job on its way, it's more or less there. All the chimneys are out, which is easy to do really now. So we're standing at the back now and then looking at our property next door. And then obviously this one. It's good that we're actually doing this job next door to ours because it's now enabled us to tie in some work. So what we are going to be doing is, whether the customer on here goes it or not, is replacing the roof on our property. So obviously back then when we did the work, we were on a budget more so than what we are now. And obviously back then I wasn't involved with Chris on every trade, so things to me paying for stuff were more of a cost. Whereas now we can do things at cost because we are the builder as well as the property developer combined together. This is why we do what we do on our properties, which is why we do everything basically. Full new re-roofs, not even if the roof's half okay, we'll just put a new re-roof on it just because it's not worth it. So that property has had a couple of issues over the years with leaks because we didn't change the roof, we kept the existing and just made good with what we did. That one did get a dormer because back then we were banging dormers up on these properties. The cladding on this dormer wasn't the right one, I don't think. I think it was my fault picking it, can't remember now. But basically you can see that it's weathered. So what we're going to do is strip all that back and put what we normally do on all our dormers now, which is just the hanging tile, the dormer hanging tile, which I think is much better finish. It's better fireproof, it future-proofs better. You don't have no issues with the sun, and it looks more traditional as well. So as I say, scaffold's going to go up. We've priced to do the roof works for this customer too, but if they don't decide to go ahead, doesn't matter to us, we're still going to build a scaffold on our side. But at the minute we've priced to do it as a combined job, so if this customer's getting a little bit cheaper because we're doing ours as well, if that makes sense. So we're sort of sharing the costs. If they were to get this on their own without us doing next door, it'd probably be another couple of grand more expensive because there'd just be one scaffold cost to just be one roofing cost, and vice versa as well. If they decide not to go, to be fair, they don't. Even if they decide not to go ahead, it is the same price for us because there's not that much roof work on the roof, it's the actual dormer. But also another little headache that we always have to deal with in this area is the seagulls. So we have a lot of seagulls here and just lay nests and hatch, and especially when you have a dormer because you've got the flat roof, it's a nice little living spot for them. So we always put spikes up, as you've seen in all our new properties now. But we've put spikes up on this one, spikes up on the gutter, but for some reason they're still sitting, but they're sitting now on the gutter itself, and just bird shit everywhere coming down. So you'll see there, obviously looking at that now, how horrible it is, and we need to rectify that and get it sorted. But I can't wait to get that one fixed up a little bit better. And as I say, every year we always try and make little changes to improve them over the years, and that's been there now for years now. That's earned its money a couple of times over. And as I say, with it being the first one that me and Chris ever did together, Chris obviously being the builder on there as every trade, me still at that time just being the property developer investor, if you like. It's good to now come next door and do this one, but also try and, you know, update our one then, because as I say, back then we were on a tight budget. There's certain things I couldn't do, which was the roof. But you know, back here now there's a couple of bits to fix in the gutter, and me now looking at it thinking how to let that slide, but I must have been under pressure and let it go, because that gutter needs fixing as well. We put the hopper, shocking. But on this property, as I say, a couple of little cracks there, all historic. Again, we haven't even touched that yet. But you can see a little crack coming through there at the back. Once we do that knock through, we'll be able to rebuild that back up there for the customer. Obviously lower the windows down, take the chimneys off. Next door's got a bit of a shared chimney there, so we need to find out what's going on with that. But you can see up here is up to damp now. We've got the drainage works to do, and then knock through, do the slab, and then get the walls up. Whilst I'm chilling in the sun, reminiscing, I just remembered something else as well, from Niall behind the camera. This was his first job as well. So me and Niall, before Niall used to do all our shoots on our houses, I used to use a couple of other different people, and then I can't even, I think it was me missus, she was into done dancing all that back years ago, and I think she was the one who was saying use Niall, get into Niall about it. So Niall done this one, and I might show you a little clip of that now, what it looks like, because it was actually a good little video what he did, and he done the one there. So a little montage now of here and there, we can show you how good Niall actually is. And actually Niall's come on since then, I'd say leaps and bounds. But yeah, so not only was it me and Chris being the first on here, Niall was actually the first job for us on here too. So it just shows you, see, once if you're good at what you do and you build that relationship with people, you've got years and years of working together as a partnership, and it works for all parties inside. So as I say, yeah, good little update inside. I'm not going to show you too much because you've seen them all now. You know what gets done. The lads are on the way over now. That actual alarm in there is the smoke alarm that's been buried in the basement and cause all the timber's over it for the floor upstairs, the new floor. They can't get down, so they're going to get that timber in today and get that bit of alarms doing me head in. But yeah, good little reminisce there, and you're back over to Manchester.
Good morning. Nice bright day in Manchester. So a few of you guys might remember this. This is the little caddy camper that I bought my mum. She's not actually been able to get out in it yet. I've had to do a few bits and pieces to it, and I've got it into Dale now to give it a little bit of a once over before she does her first trip next weekend. But I just realised, and I didn't realise when I bought it, but this is a limited edition. Look at this. My mum's absolutely buzzing about that. Little does she know that she's got a limited edition camper. And also, because I'm not the tallest of chaps, if you've not already noticed, but if you have a little look on top here, it's a little bit of some livery that my mum was shocked. We've had a shock. Mum, I might need to buy you it. Oh, we're going to have to start a GoFundMe page. Where's Dale today? Mum, I promise I'll sort it. She watches as well. Oh, yeah, so we literally limited edition. Oh man, I hope today gets better. So I've managed it. I've managed to get Dale and Chris, the professional struggler, in the same place. Gary Size put it in our comments last week saying he'd love to see some content with these two. So, you ask, I deliver. Here we are.
You see?
And Chris has said he's going to show Dale how to struggle.
Yeah, on everything. On
Yeah.
literally everything.
Yeah. So what are you going to get him doing today?
So our DAF 6-wheeler.
Yep.
needs
New engine.
service.
New engine in that for us today.
Yeah.
What else?
New engine.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's loads of bits on it, to be honest with you.
God knows. But it's good finally we got Chris down. He's a very busy man, but he's managed to squeeze us in, which we're very grateful for, because Dale's work list is as long as your arm and we're pulling him left, right and centre. But yeah, so today I've had Baxenden, I've had Chris, and Dave just give me a ring as well.
We've had our Dave on the
Emma?
phone as well. How's our David? Oh mate, they're bloody cities, aren't they? I don't know what they're like. And I'm making myself a cup of tea.
I know, it's bad, Davey. Dave's having to make his own brew. Oh, my missus is ringing as well.
Mate.
Look at that picture there, Chris. Look at
Oh, is that your
that was in a
missus
prime, yeah.
That was in a prime.
Yeah.
Go on, say hello, you're on camera.
Yeah, I can clickbait your name as well now, Dave.
Easy.
Yeah. Look at this is bad, this. Struggles here, he's having to make his own brew.
Yeah, straight in, look, made my own cup of tea.
Whoa.
And even offered to make other people one as well, people.
Oh, it's bad that as well.
Guest of honour. Where's Hollywood anyway?
He's at somewhere else, he's waiting for you at the yard.
Hollywood.
Yeah, he's oh, I've done something, Mike. No, he's waiting for you at the yard.
3 sugars, yes.
Is that what you're having?
Yeah, of course.
3 sugars.
Yeah. There's no else on for tea, no?
No, right, we just literally had one. Yeah. You boys crack on, and we'll check in later on, see how the boys are getting on. Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers, Dale. You should have
Cheers,
said,
everyone.
you should have said cheers, Chris, it would have been funny.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for viewing.
So the struggler and Dale have gone to work together at the yard. What a guy Chris is. Probably never met anyone like Chris, the professional struggler, in my life. He's almost like he's got a character, a Disney character that he sticks to, and that is him. Lovely guy, off his nut, by his own admission. So they're going over there. Earlier in the week, you saw that the guys put the scaffolding up so we could get this partition wall up in new HQ. Let's go and check in with Adam, Eve and Mike to see that wall, hopefully, taking shape.
Hollywood. Hello, mate. Hollywood. All you you followers of every trade. This, my pedigree chums, is the man, the myth, the legend. This is 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧. Look at him, people. Isn't he beautiful? He's the most handsomest chihuahua in the world. But he can be vicious. Can't you, Leos? He can be very grumpy. Dale hasn't even met 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧, have you, Dale? You're not bothered, mate, are you? He's not bothered about 𝗕𝗥𝗘𝗔𝗧, people. He's too busy with parts, people. Phone. Left his phone there, you see. Right, I'll put you on time lapse again. I'm changing oil filters, by the way, on this. Oil, fuel, air, pollen filter. He forgot to get a fuel filter there. So he's ordered that, Dale's ordered that. And it's got these, look, broken, these mud wings. So I'm changing them and them. And the spray suppression now, on both sides. It's gone off. Why has it gone off this screen? What have we done with it? Have I bust it? I don't know how you work this. I defo had that prop in the whole time as well. I defo haven't just put that in right now. So I don't want no abuse on Chris's channel. Thank you very much for not having the cab propped up. Because obviously I haven't got the cab right over, look, Anna. And it's held up by a ram on the other side. So if you're under here, like in here, the cab could, possible that the cab could just fall on you. And then you'd be squashed, wouldn't you? So yeah, you see, that's why I put that prop up there. So I don't want abuse for that, thank you very much. Right, yeah, filter. If you're wondering as well, guys, who I am, obviously, why is there a random mechanic talking on Chris's channel, on Every Trade's channel? I'm a mechanic and I post on YouTube and that. I met Chris through, I think it was through Dave where I met him, in fact. We went on a thingy last year to a plant thingy, like a load of YouTubers and that. And I met him there. And he said then, when I met him last year, he said, oh, I'll get you to do some work for me, like. So that's how it's come about. So that's why there's a random mechanic talking on his channel. You see? And these sumps of plastic, I don't know why they do it, you know. Freaking, why is everything now? Right, they've done away with a metal sump and they've put a plastic one on here, on these. They do it now on lorries and that. And it's not for weight, because that plastic thing weighs as much as a metal one. And as well, what you have problems with, obviously you can't over tighten this sump bung on here because it's just like half a twist and it stops. But the old ones, you used to be able to over tighten them, and they have a metal insert where the bung goes. They have a metal insert for the threads and that, and it just snaps the freaking sump, breaks it completely, because they've made it out of crappy fiberglass or whatever. It's plastic. Yeah, so it's a bad idea, really, isn't it? Same as there, look, where the oil gauge sensor is. Look, I'll show you. There, look where the oil gauge sensor is, look. It goes into a metal collar. The other day I did one, I changed one. And it was leaking from here on this other one, and we thought it was the washer in there, but it wasn't. It was in between the plastic and the metal leaking out of the sump thing. And it was a new sump as well. So I don't know, it's just a bad idea. It's just a real bad idea. All I do is moan basic on my channel. I'm coming here again, guys. Hollywood, look, just got me a McDonald's. You paid for it, you wouldn't let me pay for it either, look. He's not only a bloody editor and a filmmaker, he's a McDonald's purchaser. Bloody good man. Oh, look at that.
Yes, so we're down at the yard. How have you boys been getting on?
Mate.
Don't swear. You lasted 4 seconds. Hollywood, you have your work out on it, but it's alright. We can't change Chris from being who he really is. But yeah. I know, yeah, I know it. Have we fixed anything?
I tell you what we've done, we made more problems. You need head attack now.
I know, yeah, he just said, yeah. He said, emails, how have you got on you? You need this, you need this, you need this.
Yeah, we fixed
it.
it.
I'm not coming back, it's too far.
So basically, people, I've just left him in.
Yeah, cheers, Chris. And he swore again.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but anyway, I want to show you around my yard, Chris, to see what you think. So,
even though people have seen his yard on his channel,
are you going to put your video out first so I can nick all your subscribers?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, cheers. That's good. Yeah, right. So you crack on, and I'm going to show Chris around our yard. Chris, even though I'm already showing you this, I'm going to show my viewers our yard. Come on.
Hello, Chris's viewers.
Because I haven't done it.
The two Chris's together.
So, well, I didn't show you all of it, did I?
No, you only showed me this bit.
I didn't show you my screener. What do you reckon to this? Chris?
I wonder how many problems I can find with stuff. Look, problem people here. Window. Well, no, nothing. I'm just finding problems, mate. I'm just finding problems.
What do you reckon to this?
I know, mate.
Have you worked on anything like this before? Yeah, you did. I saw one here. I saw one here. You must have been crushing, didn't you?
I've worked on all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
It's all but there's lots of wearing parts, isn't they?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
everything's a freaking, it's a rough old job to be on. You know what I mean? It's crushing material, isn't it? So
yeah, well this is actually a screener,
so it's not
as much hammer in this, but still, this is the biggest investment I made. I didn't want to make it, but it was about to get repossessed by from another company, and they said you got one opportunity to buy it. So it was like 120 grand and just over 100 grand had to buy it.
And how old was it when you bought it?
It's only 2 years old. It's only done 400 hours. So it's a good bit of kit.
Have you had any problems with it yet?
No. Why have you said that? Why have you said that? No, it's been all right.
It has.
You imagine how many wearing parts they are. And,
I know. This is what I mean. It's all vibrating and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. And then when I needed a machine for this yard, and I'm getting grief because people say I always buy the wrong kit, but I thought we needed a digger. Someone said get a big digger. So there's only a 5-tonner, but that's the biggest digger I've ever seen.
Well, what's it with?
Nothing. It's good. This is well, apart from it was lovely and clean when I got it, and look at all this now, but mechanically
people abuse stuff, don't they, mate?
But I've got the wrong tracks on it.
They're all metal tracks.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't fitted them, have you?
No, we fitted one. I had a chance to basically. The dig said to me, get metal tracks in the yard, but I had to buy both, and it would have been like 3.5 grand. So I went for rubber.
Why don't you do what everyone does in like the fake world, where they just go out and buy new, mate?
I know, yeah. Or maybe
in the ideal world, people. Oh, mate, just go and get a new machine, mate.
Oh, I know.
People say that about my van, you know, on this YouTube. Chris, just get a new van. It's like, oh yeah.
I'll just pull out 50 grand.
I'll get a new house and all while I'm at it.
I think they think we make loads and loads of money on YouTube, that's why.
I'm in my minus all the time, that's what I'm in.
Oh, you're honest, Chris. Yeah.
A violin though, aren't I?
Yeah, cool. Well, set up a GoFundMe. So then, yeah, obviously, this is the product that often.
Yeah, it's a good product out of it, though, isn't it?
It's quite a gritty soil, so at the moment, you're only as good as the product you've got coming in. So we've got a lot of utility stuff that gets dug off the roads. So there's a lot of gritty.
Trouble is, mate, and all, you're restricted by weather, ain't you?
Yep, weather,
because
space,
you know, if it's wet, that I should think is a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is.
Because it all sticks together, doesn't it?
Well, actually, that is a beast, and that will screen
all year
round. But screening season is the summer, and we've been blessed with a pretty nice summer. So I've got my Doosan up there as well, 14 tonner.
That's an old gal, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about 18 years old now.
Is it?
You know
Yeah.
what? Touch wood again. It's been mint.
That's been going all day too. I've
had it for a year, and I've only had to do repairing it twice, and that was 2 weeks ago. If you saw the last episode.
So that's been doing well, hasn't it?
And stuff like that. So, but yeah, what the idea is, because I could go out and buy a new one on finance, but I don't want to put myself under that much pressure. I need to get this up on its feet, this operation, this yard side, and then I will invest in a new one. Because I like new kit, but it's like Baxenden, you know them, don't you?
I do. Our James and John.
Good lad.
James, John.
Well, they're the same. They need probably more expensive, bigger kit, but they're just building it slowly. And if it works, we'll buy a better one.
Yeah, but you've got to make sure you're earning money off it first, haven't you?
Exactly. Which The trouble is with all the repairs.
Well, should I chuck that in there? Should I chuck that in your
As
fine?
long as you don't throw it at me at the machine, I'm not bothered. So yeah, so that's that bit. Yeah.
Pushy, mate.
Yeah. So that obviously we do like primary stuff as well, which is like, that looks empty at the moment, but we have like the normal MOT that everyone, like Dave does. From
Yeah,
DJ.
like Dave, yeah.
I basically copied Dave.
What, copy and pasted it?
Yeah, he's like my idol.
Mate, you've got some money invested in all this line, yeah?
Mate, well over £500,000.
You must love an headache, mate.
Oh,
you
mate,
really
I do.
must.
Or either that or I love debt.
Yeah.
So we've got that old
Hello, the dig.
the old telehandler there as well, which that's on its last legs to go. So that is probably the next purchase, a loading shovel or a better, newer telehandler.
Yeah. Well, you can't, wow.
Got this, again, I bought it, 90 grand.
Yeah, the rubble crusher, yeah.
It's far too
Is this
small.
the one you took last year to thingy?
Well, they hide it off me, and it looks a lot cleaner then. Yeah, nicer then.
When was it? Where was we at?
Hillhead.
Hillhead.
That was a day, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a day,
Some
mate.
episode. That's like
Is there one this year or
No,
something?
next year. We'll go next year.
No, but someone said there's something new.
There's Plant Works and there's the truck fest thing.
Oh, I thought
that's
it
in
was a
October.
crusher
I'm thinking about going to that. And then I bought Dave an old conveyor, and then he said, "Oh, I don't need it now, mate. Keep it." So it's been one of the best purchases.
Come here, look, people. Look, I've shown the people on my channel, look.
Yeah.
Look here, look, Dave's went wrong, look. Come on, Hollywood. Look at these, look. You see the problem? Chris, problems.
Everywhere, mate. and you're telling me problems I didn't even know I had. So yeah.
I am the bearer of bad news, mate.
No, it's all good. So
This
this
is a
is
mechanic, you're a bearer of bad news.
This is my gold, Chris.
Yes, the golden money.
See that stuff there? We pick that and we sell that for more than we sell the crush stuff. So we have to pick all
you
that.
pick it out individual?
Yeah, well, as it's going into the crusher.
Really?
Yeah. So we don't use our crusher that
Cool,
much.
that's labour intensive, isn't it?
It is, but we've got a good process down and it is actually worth it. Well, at the
is it?
moment we think it is anyway.
Yeah,
So
all good in the hood.
So we're trying, mate. We're having a go. You know, we've started small, like I said to you on your channel.
Well, you haven't started small, mate. This
Well-
isn't starting small, is it?
Yeah. And
This is starting big, mate.
But compared to the big boys, mate, they put crazy money, but they're like.
Yeah, but if
you know,
they've been established 40 odd years, they will be,
yeah,
won't they?
it's like multi-generation. We started this from nothing.
I know, yeah.
2 years ago, 18 months ago, I didn't have
And you was
anything
new
in
to
this
the game
yard.
and all? Completely
Yeah.
new to it?
Knew nothing.
You've never done this before,
No,
ever?
all I've done is construction. That's all I've done. So really, we put a lot of money into it, and do you know, it's a labour of love. It's because I enjoy it. I enjoy the pain and the misery, Chris.
Come on,
Yeah. Right. Anyway, so yeah, do you like it? What do you
love
think?
it, mate. Love it, mate. I wish you every success, mate, because you must work hard. Because frickin' hell, mate, I won't want all your headaches.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I must be.
I really
do you know what?
wouldn't,
My tolerance to stress and things are quite
Oh,
high.
you must be. You must be like a duck in water.
Yeah. What do you reckon
Are
to
you-
our little tent that we give you here?
Are you like a duck in water, paddling underneath?
Yeah, a little legs.
Like calm on top, but paddling
Yeah,
underneath.
I'd use that analogy quite a lot, really. Like more like a swan, I'd say, though. Unfortunately, Chris, we haven't got anything like that to give
Oh
you.
yeah, where is your stickers, mate? Look,
Mate,
all these stickers.
we are
mate,
not on
look.
Bazzy's level, mate.
Oh,
Yeah.
mate,
And
come on,
Low.
Dave's low,
Oh,
look,
my
come
God.
on.
Mate, how about I just pay you for being here today instead? Is that
That's
all right?
better, mate.
Yeah. No, thanks very much to Chris. He's a legend. I met him before, but what you see is what you get with this man. I've said it before on my channel, I don't know if you've seen it, but he's one of the most genuine people you'll ever meet. Probably one of the maddest people. That's his...
Maddest people. Oh.
Is it biting? No, I've seen it bite Dave.
It does bite, like, well, only when it's
Yeah,
in the
she
van,
must like
really.
me.
He ain't got no teeth, anyway.
No.
He's a handsome little chappy.
Who, me or the
Say bye, Lear Dag. He's had some loving today, mate.
That's good.
Bye, everybody, on
Yeah.
Chris's channel.
So that is basically it from the episode of Every Trade Behind the Build. Hope you've liked it, guys. Been a bit of a mad one. We've obviously had Chris, professional struggler. We've seen the Baxenden guys. We've had Dave from D&J on FaceTime or whatever he called us. And you've seen the yard, you've seen construction. And that's what I want these episodes to be. You just never quite know what's going to happen. I hope you have a lovely rest of the weekend and I hope you make lots of dough next week. Come back next week for who knows what, but I'll try my hardest to make it interesting and informative. And don't forget, if you are into construction or property or business in general, to sign up for the alert for Every Trade University. It's going to be massive. It's going to be amazing value for money. And me and Alex are really excited about it. Have a great rest of the week, guys.